next work session is a school capital update. Mr. Carson.
Well, we had the ability to clear the room, it looks like, as we came up. But Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the board, Dr. Casey, thank you very much for having us back again. Just in the last meeting, as you well know, we had the opportunity to speak at that time with projects that went on during the course of the summertime to get schools ready. So we look at that more as our readiness project. This is some phenomenal work that's being done this time. Our Director of Construction, Scott Carson, will take it pretty much from here, but essentially this is about building bridges into the future and making sure that we're able to reach out to the needs and serve the students across the county who are coming to us as well as those who are here today. So with that, Scott.
Thank you very much, Dr. Casey, members of the board. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. I feel privileged to speak with you this afternoon and talk to you about the great work we're doing for the citizens of the county, the families, the students, the faculties, the staff, the teachers, etc. So I'm going to jump right into the Dale District and talk to you. You're welcome. And talk to you a little bit about what a few of you have seen actually recently over at Falling Creek Middle School. I am happy to report that we are making tremendous progress on this much needed new middle school or replacement middle school that is being constructed directly between Falling Creek Elementary and the existing Falling Creek Middle School. This is one of the larger structures that we have built since Cosby and Clover Hill High School many years ago. 250,000+ square feet, capacity for 1,800 students, 3 academic floors in the back wing. It's got a tremendous amount of space, for the Dale District and its citizens. But we are blessed with a fabulous contractor, Gulf Seaboard, who is making great progress, keeping us on track, keeping us on schedule, and most importantly, keeping us at or just around budget, which is always a pleasure to report. So we are on track here to open this new facility in August of 2024, at which time we will move Bensley Elementary School into the existing Falling Creek Elementary School, middle school rather, for 2 years, while we go ahead and rebuild Bensley Elementary School just a little ways down the road on the east side. But we threw up some stats up there. I won't repeat them for you, but needless to say, we're doing great work here in the Dale District, and we'll wrap this building up pretty soon. And not too long after that, we will bid out the site work, which will commence after the existing middle school is demolished. We'll wrap this whole thing up in about 2027 all in. So great progress in the Dale District. Flipping over to Matoaka, pretty much the same program, same type of school. We've rearranged a few of the pieces. Again, we are doubly blessed this time because Gulf Seaboard is our contractor for the West Area Middle School as well. This will also have capacity for 1,800 students right at the end of Westerly Parkway. We're looking to open up this facility in August of 2026. We were fortunate to be able to bid building and site together and get a very solid price from Gulf Seaboard. We hit the market at the right time. We're actually a little bit scooch below our estimate on this one. But again, great team, great project managers. All points look toward a successful completion in August of 26. Couple of shots of the inside of these two facilities. Again, they mirror one another with a few exceptions, but some long needed amenities that will serve both the schools and the community. We will open up some of these facilities for parks use after the first year of operation due to warranty. But our gym space, as those of you who've been over at Falling Creek Middle School today, you know their gym is just a little bit larger than this room probably. But we're going to have a double court with a competition court, a scooch, with a competition court running perpendicular, plenty of seating. In fact, we're talking about having our middle school district championships over at Falling Creek Middle in that new gym. Very much looking forward to that. Our auditorium, again, we'll have enough seating here for over half of the student capacity. Open this up for community and school events as well, and really bolster our theater programs at both of these sites moving forward. Cafeteria space. I mentioned the size of our gym. Our cafeteria over at Falling Creek is not much larger than that. But for those of you who've been in this room, it is open, it is spacious, it is sunlit. We're adhering to those HB 2001 green guidelines that we're all required to follow here, but we'll be able to have 600 students capacity in this new cafeteria, both at Falling Creek and over at WAMS. So very much looking forward to a bright, spacious environment and good food too. Turning our attention to our new prototype elementary schools. We've just hired recently Mosley Architects to help guide us with our new elementary school prototype. You may recall Mosley Elementary School, our most recent addition to the portfolio, was guided by RRMM, but we have a new page turning here. We are following a prototype that was first developed up in Henrico, Holiday Elementary. We're making some tweaks to that facility and building. They may seem large because they are two-story, 100,000 square foot facilities, but in fact, they're not much larger than Mosley or Beulah Elementary School, which are just slightly smaller and have about 50 students less capacity. So not much of a change in size, but 2 levels, enough space for pre-K through 5 plus SPED programs, community facilities as well. AM Davis will be our first site out of the gate. We look to bid that project here later this fall and have a groundbreaking ceremony in early February of 2024 with an opening in August of 2025. And right on the heels of that, we're already starting design for the new Bensley and the new West Area Elementary School. That site will be located directly adjacent to the West Area Middle School. So we have an aggressive schedule. We have a solid program. We've gotten some great feedback, held some great community meetings over at Davis. Some of you attended, and we're very much looking forward to providing these new facilities for our students, families, faculty, and the entire community as well. It's a very nice prototype. These are some shots, I mentioned Holiday, of what it's going to look like on the inside. A little bit more open, a little bit more spacious, a few better sight lines than our current elementary school prototype. This is called a learning stair, a real sort of hub center of the building. Think of it as our 100% corner, where we not only can have impromptu or promptu, if that's a word, gatherings, but also perhaps community events. Again, a lot of these spaces are pre-designed to allow for not only our core curriculum and school-related activities, but also with a mind towards community activities as well. That's very important to us. We're all about that connection. Our gymnasium, we've sliced off the cafetorium portion of our current prototype. Now we have a dedicated gym with the stage facility, much like our older elementary school prototypes. But here we got a full court floor with doors to the outside as well. And we're thinking about scoreboard placement too. In fact, we spoke with Mr. Luther about this last Friday, about where's the most logical to put those community-centered things in our gyms as we're building them. Oh, by the way, the hardwood floor, we're getting a resilient floor. That's reserved for the high schools.
Quick question, will there be bleacher seatings?
Yes, we have a small tier of bleacher seating. You can see the window inset on the left-hand side. It would be about a 3 or 4 tier set of grandstands there. Okay. One of the things we're thinking about, it's really about the way kids learn and the way our teachers teach these days. Things need to be flexible. I'm sure you've heard that before, but we're looking at ways we can configure our hallway spaces, which are fairly, not quite utilized to the fullest extent possible, and adding some relief within those hallways, building in some recesses, and creating what's called extended learning spaces, putting up a whiteboard in the hallway and a little sort of a pocket park, if you will, and adding more collaborative features inside the hallways. This is sort of 21st century thinking. I know we're 23 years into the 21st century, but we're starting to catch up. But looking at ways we can adapt, be flexible, and use our space more intelligently, so we're not just a one-stop shop classroom with rows of seating. So this is a computer rendering example of what that might look like on our second floor of the new prototype. Okay. And finally, yet another architect. We've recently hired Stantec architects to help us with our planning, programming, design, and eventually building of the new West Area High School. We are basing our new high school after Independence High School up in Loudoun County. Our committee took a tour of this last fall, and let me tell you, we fell in love with this space. It has got everything you need for 21st century learning with a lot of flexibility. This will be the largest thing I will ever have built in my, well, I don't build it, I just direct it, but I'll be truthful with that. But 2,400 students, over 300,000 square feet. It is a very large facility with everything you need to appropriately educate our young learners, these days. It's going to take up, again, 300,000 plus square feet, plus have all the ancillary outdoor athletic facilities, bus loop, parking, drop-off, pickup, multiple entrances, things of that nature. But it looks great from the outside, but on the inside, it's even much more handsome. Again, we have just wrapped up the programming phase with Stantec. We're very excited. We learned so much. This architect, not only are they great designers, but they're great educators too. In fact, their principal, Bill Bradley, has a master's in education, and he has walked us through a very educational process, as we've programmed this building. But these are some great examples. We call them sort of inspiration shots of architecture they've done not only at Independence, but from some of the other schools they've recently designed, showing the collaborative nature of our interior spaces, our media center, very important, heart of the building, but open, gracious, welcoming, sunlit, very transparent design. That's where they come from, and that's why we fell in love not only with their facility, but frankly, there's a little bit of crush going on with the architect too, I'll be honest. So these are some inspirational photos. We'll get into more detailed design, both on the site and the building, starting next month, with ultimate opening of this facility in August of 2027. Okay? So we're doing a lot, and we love to share, and we love to show off a little bit too. So recently, we've had a few visitors over at the Falling Creek Middle School site, as well as a very talented photographer.
And Mr. Holland, we were going to put the disclaimer, he was not using the heavy equipment on the backside either. Like Mr. Carson, he wasn't building the building, but he's definitely there as that support.
Okay, if they won't let me drive it, yeah. But anyway, we are making tremendous progress. We're very proud of the partners that we have, both on the building side, the design side, the funding side. That's all very important. And we're very blessed to be able to do this type of important work for, again, our students, our faculty, our families, and the entire citizenry of the county. So I've got a great job. Thanks for helping me out. Happy to take any questions you all may have.
Board members, questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
I'm going to make a comment.
I knew you were.
Thank you, sir. I just want to thank you, Scott, for your hard work, and Mr. Carson, and all your good work, and for what you all are doing in the school system. We appreciate that good work. I also thank you for taking the time to give me a tour of New Fallen Creek Middle School. I was really, really impressed, and it's great. I particularly was pleased that we're going to have a nice teacher's lounge as well there. So thank you for all your hard work. And what I appreciate especially is that this is also for the community, that we don't leave the community out. There's a place for them in all our facilities and our assets, and for activities just like we do in our libraries, which are helpful when we have storms where citizens need somewhere to go to charge their cell phones. They can stop there. So we greatly appreciate the community being included and being a part of it, of what you do in your thought process, and certainly for the children and students who matriculate in these institutions, because as I always say, we are on what I call a journey of excellence. What we would do, we want to do it well so that we'll model for others to look at, and you all have done that exceptionally well. So thank you. I applaud you.
Stingle.
I just wanted to mention that although Fallen Creek is in the Dale District, it also serves citizens in the Bermuda District, because the district lines for the Board of Supervisors are not the district lines for the schools. So I look forward to my citizens being able to attend school there as well.
Thank you,
A couple of questions. So the proposed high school, what's an estimate on cost for that?
That's a good question. We monitor the market almost daily. We
Yep.
look at bids. We look at VDOE.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, and Bob, you can help, or Matt, you can help me out with this. The bond referendum put that at 135 million. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're watching that closely.
So, and what, on a high school site, what are we looking at from an acreage standpoint for minimum to make that work?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the county planning guidelines, I think they call for 60 to 80 acres for
80
a high school
acres
site.
plus, 80 acres plus. Okay. First of all, I think what y'all doing is fantastic, and I do believe that this is the investment that's coming forward in all parts of Chesterfield counties. We funded these two middle schools in a different way, and it was outside of the bond referendum. And now with the bond referendum, we have these other schools and other improvements that have come out of the ground, like libraries, police stations, as well as these schools. And so these are, as Mr. Holland said, very important infrastructure improvements for the future that will serve our community, not just when our children are in school, but outside of that programming. And, we have a lot of, example, youth athletic leagues in Chesterfield County that actually utilize these spaces from both the middle schools. I know that there's a conflict right now, I think, because somebody wanted to use the Fallen Creek space, which is not available now. They have to use Meadowbrook because they're building the school. And so having these additional campuses with the additional facilities on them are going to help us, again, serve our greater community for our kids who play in all these leagues. So we'll look forward to all of this coming out of the ground. Thank you. Mr. Winslow.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say super appreciative of this capital improvement program and the work that's been done these last 4 years. When you look at the number of new schools that have come out of the ground in Chesterfield County, what we are doing is not only creating an environment that's better for students, which is our primary focus, but we are also attracting teaching talent as well by having top-rated facilities. And I think that's something that maybe doesn't get, that's a song that doesn't get sung too much. But when you have nice, clean, new, functioning buildings that are healthy and promote a sense of cohesion in the community, you have a winner. And I think that 99% staffing rate that the school system has right now is proof positive of that. So I just want to say you are helping in more ways than I'm sure you're already aware of this, but others may not know. You are helping this county in more ways than one, and we're so appreciative. Thank you.
Mr. Winslow actually just brought something up that we didn't talk about, and it's not necessarily part of the presentation today. But we also during COVID, handed over to the schools a significant amount of money for them to get caught up with their infrastructure, and y'all have been making headway, a huge headway, in getting caught up in security systems for the schools, protective barriers in the entranceway to the schools, upgrading the HVAC systems that were ailing years ago. I mean, it's been really a lot more work, quite frankly, going on. And then in the last 3.5 years, you all have made some significant catching up to do with capital improvement in our school system. And I think it's worthy of note. Mr. Holland.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for saying that. And as you all noted, I just wanted to thank this board and the leadership in this county for the forward thinking that we have done in terms of borrowing that money before the bond referendum was approved by our voters. And so that forward thinking, getting those lower rates, the lower costs for borrowing money is what we do well in Chesterfield, because we always have a close look at every dollar that we spend wisely. And so I just want to applaud that effort. And as you have stated so well, our staff and everyone, Mr. Harris, our team, Dr. Casey, all do a tremendous job in helping us to do exceptionally well in our physical stewardship of the taxpayers' dollars. And I think that's critically important. So I'm quite pleased. I mean, I don't think, when I look back, I don't think we've been in a better position educationally in this county in terms of facilities before that I can remember. Stories I don't want to go through today, but I'm not going to let you know about those. But nevertheless, I think we're in an excellent position, and we're poised for greatness, I think, in the future in terms of education, in terms of community assets, just what this board has done and the leadership has done in this county. So I applaud you doubly for all the great work you're doing and doing it fiscally responsible, which is critically important too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.